Hi, this is Professor Karthikeyan. Today we are going to discuss about sound insulation in buildings. Sound insulation is very important parameter that should consider for the building. We should protect ourselves from the sound. If it is sound is more, it will create bad situation to the people, those who are living inside the room. It will create some effects to the people. It's create unhealthy and uncomfortable living condition for the people or those who are using the building, whatever it may be the building, either residential, either commercial, either office, whatever it is. That we see one by one now. Generally, that high noise conditions not only create unhealthy and inefficiency or mental strain or fatigue, but if it is extended for the long time, it is create some temporary deafness or the nervous breakdown. So we should avoid maximum sound or the noise. Okay. That generally it is two types. That we can do two types. One is called as soundproofing, another one is called as sound insulation. These two terms are entirely different. Okay, the soundproofing is essential for film studios, radio broadcasting stations like FM stations, right? Then museum, music chambers, then cinema theaters, etc., and sound recording studios also. But we want to provide sound insulation. It is entirely different from the sound absorption. Okay, it is we can provide this kind of insulation to the office building, hospital, education institutions, even for the residential buildings. It is very important that source of sound is entirely different. Either it's two types, either the from outside or from the inside. Okay, we should avoid such kind of noise, because noise is unwanted sound. We should not hear that unwanted sound to a certain level. Okay, so here we can see that different type of outdoor levels and indoor noise levels. That indoors we can see that mixie while grinding the rice or doing the mixie while cooking the food, that whistle sounds, etc. It's coming from the residential house, inside the house or the room itself. While the fan is running, it also creates some noise. Okay, that everything should be avoided. So that should be, we can't able to think it is very difficult to prevent outdoor noise, but we can prevent that prevent, even though that indoor noise also we should achieved by adequate planning and its compartments with suitable construction measures. That noise are generally is classified into these two types. One is outdoor noise, another one is indoor noise. Outdoor noise is the source of origin is outside from the room or the building, like such as traffic, railway, aeroplanes, loudspeakers, etc. Okay. The next one we can see that indoor noise. Okay. It is coming from the source of the origin is inside the room itself or the building itself. Okay. It's maybe due to the occupants or footsteps, banging of doors, sweeping of furnitures, water closet, flushing water closet. Okay, even the typewriting sounds, everything it will come. Even the full telephone ringing is also one type of interior noise. Okay. And also these noise are classified into these following two types based on the based on the analysis of sound insulation problem. Okay, the two types are airborne noise or the sounds, structural borne noise or impact noise or the sound. Okay, airborne noise, we can see that the sound is transmitted to the generated in the air and transmitted through air, the direct to the human ear. This type of sounds travel one part to another through the small gap or the opening or by the vibration of the portion of the wall or the doors. Then second one is structural borne noise. This is originated and progress in the building structure. It is caused by impact or transmitted as airborne noise. That we can see that figure that while airborne easily understand, airborne sound transmission through the wall while ringing the phone in some other rooms we can hear in the bedroom itself, that through path that waves pass through the porous or the medium or the partition walls, it will hear. Either the neighbor is hitting the wall, or he is drill the wall, or he is putting nail in the wall, they will hit the wall with hammer. That will create the structure borne sound we can observe through the vibration or the transmissions. So the transmission of voice noise we can classify into three types. One is through air, another one is through structural member. The third one is vibration of the structural member. The first one is being common and is important. Okay, through the air it is coming. The second one is through the structural member. So through that it becomes prominent only when the closing walls, floors, ceiling, etc. If it is thin construction, it will happen. Okay. Then in case of office building or the shop, we can prevent this kind of the third one is we can prevent through it may cause due to the mechanical vibrations. It may be prevented by thick wall constructions. Okay. We know that we already seen that the sound insulation is entirely different from the sound absorption. We can see that sound absorption is the prevention of reflection of the sound waves, but that insulation is the prevention of transmission of the sound. Okay, but that if you use it, that we can see that the figure. Okay, that first figure shows that sound absorption. Okay, that wall which is constructed with a material which will absorb only the minimum amount of sound, and it will maximum again the same or little bit lesser than that input, it will transmit it to the outside or opposite side. But if you are providing the wall with sound insulation, it will absorb the sound, it will reflect it, and it will maximum reflect it. That outgoing or that opposite side will receive only the minimum amount that it will do by sound insulation material, whatever we are provided. If you are using the porous material as a sound insulation or the sound absorption, if it is good, the porous material normally is good in sound absorption, but is poor in that sound insulation. If you are using the solid material, it is good in sound insulation, but poor in sound absorption. Okay. Then, so the maximum acceptable noise level, it is described by authorities for any kind of occupants or the building should have that limits. Some maximum acceptable noise level is for hospital is 40 to 50 decibel. For classroom or lecture room or seminar halls like kind of buildings 45 to 50 decibel. For residential building 45 to 50 decibels. Factories is a maximum 60 to 65 decibels a day. Then we can the noise control and sound insulation is based on that Indian standard. We have that it is different. Okay. As per the Indian Code 1952 1962, for various kind of building is given by this slide. For the house or the flats that range between 40 decibel. Okay. Between one room to another room in the same house or the flat, it should be at 30 decibel. Between the lecture rooms, that near to near, it is 40 decibel. Between two wards in the hospital, it is like 30 decibel. Still is more, we can refer in the above code. Okay. That study of noise control and sound insulation can be further is divided into following heads. The one is general consideration, another one is constructional measure of noise control and sound insulation. The third one is practical hints. In general conditions, we can see the following. The first and foremost is we have to consider that airborne noise and is to isolate it at the source itself. If we are isolated the airborne noise at the source itself, we will avoid the maximum problem. For the purpose, we are having the following methods. The first one is airtight room for the machinery. If machinery is creating more sounds compared to all others, that should be arrested in the source itself. Okay, by working method itself, we create that less noise can be adopted. Regular maintenance or that preventive of noise through by means of springs or cork or rubber, whatever it is, that noise should be avoided. Okay. In case of the residential building, if properly is located in the quick area or away from the noise surroundings, that also is good. That is source itself we are avoiding. Such kind of the purpose, we should arrange the building that we have to consider the orientation of the building with respect to the road or the whatever it is. That such a way windows should not face the source of the noise. If we are not providing the doors or windows towards the source of the noise, we can prevent the noise. Okay. Then if you are arranged the or planned properly the building units, we can go with the soundproof or sound insulation rooms we can get. Then provision of furnishing materials and lining of walls, ceiling that we can do by air-filled materials. It will reduce the noise level the great extent. Then transmission of noise by vibrations can be prevented by the thick walls, floors, partitions walls by very rigid and massive or heavy structures. Then that impact of sound, some extent we can do by providing resilient materials such as that woolen materials or whatever it is. Okay, if that resilient materials is thick, the sound absorption is more. If it is very flexible and thin, that sound absorption or the sound insulation is thin, very less. Okay, the structure-borne noise or the sounds can be prevented by introducing discontinuous in the path of vibrating waves by using sound absorbing material. Then we can use some personal protective devices such as earplugs, headphones, etc. that we can reduce the noise up to the extent of 20 to 30 decibels. But nowadays is a fashion that headphones, it is creating the to listen the songs, it also creating the ear pollution. You can call it as ear pollution. It will destroy the ear also in 24/7. Some people they are always hearing the songs with loud. Okay, guess of that external noise. Okay, then we can do the control measures of the noise by the following ways. We can do the wall and partitions, floor and ceilings, window and doors, insulating sanitary fittings, and machine mounting or insulation of the machineries. Okay, let me see one by one. So wall and partitions, it is for the first one is wall and partitions. If the walls are rigid and are massive or homogeneous partitions, it will absorb the maximum amount of insulation. Okay, sound insulation. It will act as a sound insulation material. If walls with the partitions having the porous material, it will reduce certain amount and it will transmit to the other side. If the wall is constructed with the hollow and composite partition walls or the double wall construction, it is good in sound insulation. That we can see in the third figure. The first figure we can show that rigid and massive homogeneous partitions. It will absorb the sound and it will reflect it some amount, and some waves or the sound is transmitted to the opposite side. Okay, only the less amount. The second one is we can see that partitions are of porous material. It will from the source to that end point, it will reduce. Okay, the source is maximum, at the end point it is a minimum, that we can show in the we can see in the figure. That blue color we can see that outside it is a maximum, that is passive progress. Okay, positive progress. While it is passing through the wall or the partition, the wall is constructed with the porous material. The porous material is good in sound absorption, so it is absorbed some quantity, and it's coming to the inside, it will reduce the volumes. The third one, we can see that massive structure with the hollow and composite partitions. It is like a thick wall with the hollow blocks. It will break the sounds, and it will act as a good sound insulation, also as a thermal insulation. Then we can go with the floors and ceilings. We can add some sound insulating material to reduce the impact of the sound. Okay, by following method, we can use some resilient surface materials. It will extend the impact of noise 5 to 10 decibels. Okay, then providing the floating construction that we can see here. It is resilience material. If you are applied in the surface or spread on the surface, it will absorb some amount of sound. It will act as a good sound insulation. If you are going with the floating floors, it is additional floor, that space between the floor to that existing floor to the new floor, having that 150 mm minimum. Okay, if you are giving like such a way that air will be there, and that we can fill with the insulation materials, it will absorb the sound, it will absorb the vibration, and it will not transmit it to the next level. Okay, that we can see that. Then concrete floor, it is 5 types that we can make it. Okay, the first one is concrete floor with the floating concrete screed, concrete floating wood raft, concrete floor with suspended ceiling and soft floor finish. Then concrete floor with lightweight aggregate concrete screed and soffit floor finish. Then heavy concrete floor with soft floor finish. These are the 5 category that we see one by one. Okay, this is the method we can provide the concrete floors. Okay, that bottom we can prepare concrete, that is existing concrete. Over that we have to provide polythene membrane. It acts as a damp proof course. After that we can do the screed, and then above that we can do the floor finish. It will absorb this good sound, and it will not emit. If you are especially that impact of sound will reduce. Okay, the second one is we can see that here that suspended floor. Okay, that existing floor is there, a roof is there. From the bottom of the roof we are providing the floating roof. Okay, the floating roof, the first one we can see that indoor air flames, roof weathering membranes. The third we can see that 150 mm concrete. Then fourth one is pink round strip HD reflection insulation material. Okay, then that from that overhanging portion will be there. From that, the fifth one is uneven sweated airspace, like 100 to 60 mm, 600 mm we can give the space. We are giving the space, it will reduce the sound. Okay, then building the blankets, that is wood we can use. Then 110 mm standard plaster boards we are using, it will good and sound absorption. Then indoor air film, so if we are providing, we'll get the smooth surface, meanwhile we can reduce the sound insulation. Okay, these are some typical diagrams of various kind of the floors. Then in case of wooden floors, we can see the 2 ways. Okay, if the thickness is 10 centimeter or less, we can go with supporting walls. When supporting walls are 20 centimeter thick or more, we have to go with the type 2. Okay, then we can also use suspended ceiling with air space, that we can see that figure. Okay, air handler, environmental air space, everything will be there. Through this we can supply the cool air to the building. We can see as like centralized AC. If in case of that mahals or the complex or the convention center, the top will be an asbestos sheet or AC sheet. It will absorb the more heat. There should be a sound insulation. Okay, heat, and also it will absorb the sound from the outside. It should be prevented from the sound and heat as well as both. So such a case we are doing this 2 purpose. One is sound insulation and one is heat insulation. Okay, the material is the same, but it will act as a 2 purpose. One is sound insulation and one is heat insulation. Accordingly, we have to choose the material to reduce the construction of cost. Then while choosing windows and doors, it should be a sound insulation. If you are going with single windows, it is like single thin plates. It will not absorb the sound. Okay, but it will act as a sound insulation. Okay, if you are in place of that, we can, if you are going with double panel or triple panel glasses with air gaps, it will act as a good sound insulation. Okay, then sanitary fittings, that improved insulation, the water class should not be fixed above the living room or next to the bedroom unless it will create the sound. If it is provided, we have to covered with wall insulated like cupboards, etc. It will not allow the sound to the outside. Okay. In case of machine mountings or installation of machinery, we can do the mechanical equipments, mechanical equipments creating vibrations to the adjacent building, that it is transmitted further by substructure bone sounds. Okay, that machines should be insulated by resident supports such as steel spring, rubber, car. It will absorb the sound, it will reduce the sound, and it will pass to the another one. While absorbing this, it will considerably reducing the vibration, and it will reduce the sound. For a practical purpose, we can see that following ways, that windows of bed level, bed or living rooms can be not faced towards the traffic route. Okay, if it is not possible, we can keep away from the edge like 30 to 45 meter. Okay, then to increase the transmission loss or sound reduction, the solid massive construction is slow in proportion to increase the thickness. If you increase the thickness, we can reduce the sound transmission. Okay, then material used like porous and flexible nature like half felt, it will be reduction the proportional to its thickness. Okay, if you are going with a double wall or cavity wall construction, air space is generally is better than filling material. That cavity wall itself, if we are doing 10 centimeter each, it has 80% increase in the sound insulation. Okay, compared to the single solid wall bricks like 20 centimeter thickness wall. Okay, so we can go with the without increasing the cost, it is possible. See that here we can see that cavity walls. The first one is cavity walls without filler materials. The second one is cavity walls with filling materials. It's good in sound insulation. Okay. Then smaller and solid glass pans, we can have that better insulation property compared to the large and thicker flexible pans. In case if you are going double glassing or glass windows, it is good in sound insulation. Then if you are choosing double windows or triple windows of flat glacis with airspace between the two or the successive layers, it's good in soundproofing. Okay, in place of compared to all other doors, we can go with the steel plate doors. It's more efficient for the sound insulation as like compared to the double wall hollow cold storage type doors. Okay, then also we can do this achieved the sound insulation of building by the three ways: by adopting continuous construction by using homogeneous material, and by adopting semi discontinuous construction, whereas air cavities are employed with the cross connection between the two partitions. These cross connections should be a few number of or preferably madeable flexible materials. Okay, by adopting fully discontinuous construction, where there is a complete discontinuity in the structure by means of air cavity or the electric acoustic material, this method is considered for the meeting the requirements of sound insulation at high order level. Okay, it is based on reasonable weight per square meter. Even the solid walls or the porous walls, the composite walls, everything is based on the weight per square meter. So with this above methods, we can considerably reduce the sound from outside to inside, from inside to inside itself. Okay. Thank you for watching these videos.